that go? Is that it? Surely not. Hello, Lily. Welcome to the stream. Not your father, though. How's your day going? Duck Doodle? No. No Duck Doodle. No. It doesn't matter how much you say please. Alrighty, there we go. Everything should be good. Alrighty. Time to practice. Hello, Shiro. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's your day? Hopefully it's going well. Show the duck page? I do not want to. It's a lot of work. I'd have to like take this book off, and this book has pencils on it, so the pencils are gonna fall off. It's gonna be a whole thing. Hello, Hunted. Welcome to the stream. Oh, my nipples. There are no nipples here now. That's why there's X's instead of nipples. Good evening, Chad. How's the weather and grind going? It's going good, actually. The weather is kind of cloudy, but I like it like that, to be honest. Some amount of that. It's going good. That's noise, not the noise. I changed one of the emotes to, I think I changed the what emote to be a hungry emote. It's gonna be like, drooling when it's done, but it's not finished yet, so. For right now, it's just a work in progress. Yes, how is it going for you, Hunted? How was your day? Or did I ask that already? Can't remember. At least the weather is not... yeah. Wait. Huh? Sorrow here? I don't think Taro is here. Doing absolutely mediocre as usual. Good enough. It was I need to finish eating, that'll work on the last bit of blanket. Alright, well, good luck with that. I need to work on, literally, I don't know, getting better. So, I will work on that. Okay, I'm just gonna bring that in. Like that. Hello, James the Catboy. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's your day going? My mood right now? Head empty. You know, that's pleasant, I think. Speaking of work, I had 5 deadlines to meet by Monday, and I only finished a whopping 1 out of it. Oh, that's not good. I barely got any sleep. Oh no. Maybe you can take a nap today. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Or, I guess, go to sleep early, maybe? I did earlier? Oh, well, still tired. Hence why I said barely. Well, wait, you're saying that your nap was your only rest, like you stayed up the entire night? Unfortunately? Oh. Well, hopefully you get a better sleep schedule. My pen is done. My pen is finished. Alright, new pen. should have completed it within the 2-day grace period, but nah, past me thought, what's another boys love romance gonna do anyways? And now we're here. Rough, rough, rough. I mean, I'm also a procrastinator, so yeah, I guess it just be like that. Alright. First drawing of today is going interesting. Not like there's really much to do for this drawing, to be honest. Question, which character is that in the thumbnail? Why is she giving the lewd face? She's actually not supposed to be, well, it's not supposed to be a lewd face. She's just supposed to be hungry. That is the Witch of Gluttony from ReZero, I'm quite sure. I don't know why I'm saying I'm quite, well, actually, yes, I literally am quite sure. I'm certain, actually. There's no like uncertainty there. It's for sure the Witch of Gluttony from ReZero. Daphne, I'm quite sure. I think that's her name. Yes. My procrastination is like a premium subscription for IBS Paint. Don't know what that reference. But yeah. Hello, Rapdog. Welcome to the stream. Yes. They wanted a drooling emote, so I decided to give them a drooling emote. Although it's not done yet, it's still a work in progress, as you can see by the sketchiness. How's your day going, Rapdog? Also, Dennis, as usual, who was in Paris? I don't know. People, probably. No. That joke is highly inappropriate? I don't think so. It's just a joke. In any case, I'm not offended by it. I'm very good, Dennis. Thanks for asking. How about you? Yeah, I'm doing good, actually. Doing good. Or so I say. I haven't actually really drawn today, but I'm drawing now, and the day just started. Waiting for Dennis to tell me who. I have the ability to. I don't have the ability to. How am I supposed to know who's in Paris? Look up Kanye West. No, I know the song name. I know what the song is. I know the meme. I know what he's saying. When it comes to me, though, I don't know. I'm not affected by that. You're only affected by that type of stuff if you want to be, I suppose. In any case, I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm glad you're good, Dennis. The balance point thing I was talking about before is actually called center of gravity. Yes, center of gravity. Yes, center of gravity. If a character's center of gravity is not, like, placed on the leg, or if it looks off, yes, the character's gonna look unbalanced. As long as you're not offended. I'm not. I mean, yeah. Even if someone was trying to be offensive, I still wouldn't be offended. After all, what do I care what they want to do? It's not like they really affect me or anything. If he did on stream, or getting demonetized so fast, I don't think so. Someone actually came in, like a random guy came in, like I think it was a bot or something, and he like spammed a bunch of like slurs and stuff. Yeah, a bot came in, like spammed a bunch of slurs. We didn't get demonetized. I mean, I did like ban him, I guess, but like, yeah. Hello, Mr. Cracker. Welcome to the stream. Dennis, what do you think of this phrase? If you can't draw it, you can't draw it as it is. It's not your style. It's your crutch. Let me see. Well, to break that down, basically, if you can't draw photorealism, then, or if you can't draw photorealism, then it's a crutch. I mean, sure. Maybe. I don't think so. It depends, like, why you're drawing. If you're drawing something in your style, then it's not a crutch. Like, a crutch is only a crutch if someone is using it as a crutch, right? It depends on the intention. If someone is drawing something in their style simply because they're like running away from something, then sure, it's a crutch. But if someone is drawing something in their style because that's how they like it to be, that's how they want it to look, it's not a crutch. That's just how, like, that's just their preference. In the first place, I don't think an artist needs to be able to draw everything like perfectly, right? An artist doesn't need to do something photorealistically, or even like that's not the way. Like to say something about like style and stylization, I mean, unless you're doing something actually one for one, like actually being able to copy it, like I mean, then it is like slightly stylized. It's not the same as the original. And if it's not the same as the original, then you can't draw it as it is. So I kind of disagree with the premise. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I agree that some people do like run away from like I guess like some sort of fake responsibility. People run away from having to draw something as it is a lot of the time, using their style as an excuse. Yes, those people are using it as a crutch. But people who just like to draw things just for fun, just like in a style because they like how it looks, that's not a crutch. That's just their preference. Anyways, yeah. Or if they use AI. Yeah, if they use AI, it's not even a crutch anymore. That's just not even them. They're not using a crutch. They're just not doing art. I don't know why I'm giving her goggles, but I'm giving her goggles. Man, if only Dennis could tell. If only Dennis could tell shades? Glasses? Oh. Been starting the streams pretty early. I don't know. How's the schedule working? I have more time in the day. To be fair, the earlier I start, the more time I have in the day. Wonder how convenient this, like, earlier schedule is for other people. That's why kids never use AI and art in the same sentence, or the dirt man will get your toes. That's why I keep a little bit of dirt under my pillow. Wait, I mean, not that I use AI, but still. I'm more referring to the dirt man. The dirt man will come for you no matter what, to be honest. That's why you keep a little bit of pillow. Wait, I keep a little bit of pillow under my dirt? No, what? I keep a little dirt under the pillow. More time to get them antioxidants. Yes, I need antioxidants because I need to stop being rusty. After all, rust is oxidation, right? Cool sunglasses, thank you. What time to get cool sunglasses? Am I being hypocritical given I use AI to help me help me put my thought into writing. Like I've only generated an AI art thing once, but I never did it again. I don't know. Like if you like, I mean, for me personally, I'm not a person. I'm not a person who actually hates AI. I don't actually. I don't. I just don't care about AI. It's just not interesting to me. The images it produces is not interesting to me. I mean, are you hypocritical? It depends what your stance is on. If you think that people, if you think that people who use AI are like bad people, and you use AI, or like people who use AI is like a bad person, and you use AI, then yeah, that is a hypocrite. But if your stance is like, if your stance is that if you like use AI and you claim it to be yours, like the thing that it produces, you claim to be of that profession. Like if you use an AI to make writing and you claim to be a writer, I don't think you're really a writer. But like, yeah, I don't know. It depends what you're using it for. It depends what your stances are. Does your stance contradict what you're doing? Hello, King Froglet. Welcome to the stream. When's the fruit stream? What the heck is the fruit stream? Hello. I think you're the cheese that expired. Welcome to the stream. I keep dirt under my man. Wait, what? I only use AI to slave for me sometimes, but never in my writings. Dare I do that? Wait, then which then? Huh? Okay. Okay. I just have a hard time to put things into words. I mean, yeah. No, I mean like I don't think I think people who say that AI isn't useful for like some things is like, I think those people are like kind of delusional. I think AI can be very useful for a lot of things. Like people use AI in like, yeah, to like organize emails and stuff like that. I don't think that's like a bad thing. I think if you're using an AI to do something, I don't. It depends, right? It depends. There is probably some amount of like there's some amount of use in probably being able to like figure things out for yourself, but I think sometimes, yeah, like if you need help, then I don't think it's wrong to like get help from an AI if it actually does fulfill, if it does do what you want it to do, and it actually helps you out in the end. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a bad thing, right? But this is coming from someone um, who has no like emotions put into AI. So yeah, it really just depends on what you think about AI. If you think AI is bad, and if you think that like people shouldn't be using AI and you still use AI, then you're a hypocrite. But if you don't think that, then yeah, it's fine. Drawing puke fruit bowls would be really strange. Eating fruit and drawing. James a dictionary and thesaurus will be a godsend. Okay, like so you can have all the words in the world, and you can have like, yeah, you can like have the knowledge, but putting things into words is being able to like properly string these words together in a way that makes sense, right? So like, yeah, like I struggle a lot. So I struggle sometimes with like putting things into words. I do work on it a lot to like figure out how to say things in a easy to understand way without sounding like clunky, and getting like to just to get my point across in a efficient way. I really much I value that. And so it's not that I lack the words like needed to put those together. It's lacking like, sometimes you have to actually hear someone put something into words one time for you to be able to like, for like it to click for you, or like to say something in a certain way. And sometimes if you haven't like seen that, it's very difficult to like get to that point, if that makes sense. I guess it just depends. I don't know. Dictionaries help with syntax. Yeah, like I'd agree, but like if you really struggle, I don't know how much. I don't know how much it would help. Like if you just have a problem like stringing words together. Just like the founding fathers intended. As Buddha said, never believe in anything as long as it sits well with your own reasoning and consciousness. Is that saying never believe anything that sounds that feels right to you? Is that what that means? Or am I not understanding? Just know that I never let it force feed me the concepts. I mean, yeah, no, that's fine. What am I doing? Okay, cool. Let me draw this. I guess I have to bring some of this in. Starting with small, with basic sentences would help immensely in that case. Yeah, I think so too. Like for most things, whether it be like writing or art or like anything else, starting from like simple building blocks and then like combining a bunch of simple concepts together and simple things together will eventually create something that like looks complex or seems complex. So yeah, it really benefits you to work on the basics first. Hello, roast trap. Welcome to the stream. If it doesn't sit well with you, don't believe it. Oh, okay. I don't know about that one though. I think either if you only believe things that sit right, like if you only believe things that sit well with you, or you only believe or you never believe things that don't sit well with you. I think both of those cases are like pretty. They're gonna lead to some amount of problems. As long as I have as long as I have actual evidence for whatever, if there's evidence for something that exists and like there's like with like no logical fallacies, if it actually makes sense logically, not that like it sits well with my feelings, if it makes sense logically, then I'm gonna believe it, like irrespective of whether I feel like it should be like this way or not. I think when it comes to feelings, it's very I don't know. But maybe I just hate that type of thing though. Dennis, is your manga too complex? I don't think so, no. Sometimes obliviousness is key to a peaceful being. I mean, if you're saying ignorance is bliss, maybe, but I don't think ignorance leads to the best. I mean, ignorance is bliss, sure, but I think that's like the weaker way to get things done. That's the weaker way to be at peace with yourself. I think the best way to be at peace is probably not ignorance, but rather, I don't know, master your emotions. That's how to be at peace. If you're, you know, like get control over yourself. If information itself is bothering you, then I don't know if that's like a good way to live your life. You need to like get control over yourself. If the very knowledge of a certain thing like actually sways you and actually like deeply troubles you in a way that you just can't like control, if that makes sense, I don't know if that's probably something to do with yourself than like any information. Acknowledging things is good too. Yeah, I mean, I think a person should look directly at like I think people should just look directly at the world. People shouldn't like avert their eyes from like what's happening because it doesn't sit well with them. And I'm not even talking about that being like cowardly. I'm talking about you like being. That's gonna like not help you as a person if you do that. Imagine living in a world with only your pen and paper and art, and the world around only believing at what you want to do and and not what around you. Sounds like what Gene Sydney has. I mean, that world sounds peaceful, sure, but that's not reality. There's like other people around. The world isn't just me. To put on blinders to like everything that's going on in the outside world is probably not the best way to go about things. Actually, I'm almost certain it's not the best way to go around things. Like, while yes, I think that'd be a great life, maybe that would be peaceful, maybe that would be happy, but like that's not reality. When someone tries to run from reality, they become miserable. That's like a type of fragile happiness. I don't know. Hello, Cheesecake. Welcome to the stream. Here's the thing, there's too much around you. Sometimes I wish to move to a quiet mountain with a bundle of my joy and little timber for fire, with love poems and some coffee to pass by. Yeah, I know. Okay. I think people who like go camping, I think that's fine. But like, there's a difference between how to say this. I don't know. Like, yes, but like, even then, like, you haven't escaped the world. You've just moved farther away, right? Like, eventually, something's gonna happen, right? There's no, like, true escape to reality. Eventually, people will come. The amount that a person can be isolated is shrinking. So maybe that type of lifestyle was possible before, but I don't know. I think, I still think that's like a fragile happiness. I think what you should strive for is to be able to like, I guess to be able to like be in like a battlefield, but like still be at relative peace. Like, and this is not to say that you should like be intolerant or like insensitive to like pain and suffering. I'm not saying you should be like numb, but I'm saying to have control over it and like not be actually you know, like it's one thing to be in pain but like be able to bear it. It's another thing to like run away from pain itself, to like numb yourself to pain. So I'm not saying, I'm saying that like that going away to a mountain, like going away to a mountain and that type of thing, it doesn't, you don't actually need to like physically do that. You can like, if you get strong enough mentally, you can just do that without having to go anywhere, which is like the strong, I think like those are like that would be like the strongest type of person, a person who doesn't need to go anywhere to like be at peace. Hope they don't, or I'll be pulling an Aaron Yeager. Well, if you say so. Yeah, there's nowhere to escape to. People are everywhere, and people will continue to expand. The amount that, yeah, a single person could be isolated is shrinking, and it's been shrinking, and it'll continue to be shrinking. So I would recommend you like master yourself, essentially. That will probably bring you the highest quality of happiness. Not everyone is mentally strong. Some people gotta swallow the hard pill of accepting pain or running away. Yes, but like, you can't. Okay, if you're gonna run away, just like make sure you can actually run away, right? Like, don't pretend to run away. Like, you can go like to a mountain or something, but that's not like truly escaping. There is no escape from reality. Reality is like, you know. And I'm not saying that everyone. I'm saying like most people has the capability. Like, you have the capability to be mentally strong. And it is way like it's way easier to just give up. It really is. But like, I don't know. You know, like, it feels easier in the short term to just give up. But in the end, if you just like stick through it, if you stick through it and actually become mentally strong, if you actually work on yourself well enough to be able to, you know, be at peace with the world, or at least to be at peace or calm your emotions at some level, I think you'll be I think you'll just like achieve a higher level of happiness. Hello, Alpha. Welcome to the stream. Alpha bot. That ain't my name, but good try, I suppose. For a second, I was like, wait, who's Khalil? Who is that? But no. I was like, oh, is he guessing my name? I forgot about that. Yeah. Um, I think running away to like a mountain secluded is a temporary like escape. But there's basically no amount of escape is like a true escape. You have to be able to like, yeah. The best way to escape is to just master your emotions. And I say that as if it's easy. It's not. It's obviously not. I'm not saying that that's easy. That's like, I'm not saying like if you're homeless, just like buy a house. But I am saying like, you should at least work towards like, you should do something, right? You have to do something that's practical that will actually help instead of just like running away. And like I see this type of behavior like every day. I see the behavior of like wanting. I see the behavior of people like just not being in control of their emotions like every day. And like these people are miserable. Like people on Twitter are miserable. And they're miserable because they don't have control over their emotions. They're miserable because like they allow what like anything that they see to like sway them. To a person that's that weak mentally, everything is a cognito hazard. Like all in like information itself is like a danger. To a person like that, it's like the world is like the world is a threat. And like how those people are. Like those people are not happy. They spend all of their time on the internet fighting meaningless battles because like they were wounded or like they felt uncomfortable because they didn't have control over their emotions. And it's like that type of person you know it's such a fragile existence that I don't know if you would willingly choose that. Twitter in general is miserable. Yes, but Twitter in general is miserable because the people there are miserable, and the people there are miserable because they don't have control over their emotions. You can boil it down to Twitter is a miserable place, but I think you should like look at why it's a miserable place. Because the people there are miserable. And like Twitter is like an example of what it when I mean Twitter, I mean like the toxicity of Twitter is an example of like what it means to be so emotionally fragile and not try to like be better. If you want to be like them, then like sure, go ahead, but I don't think that's what you want. Dennis, when you say isolate yourself, do you mean completely or just the social aspect, like not having any friends? I was more talking to I was talking about what Hunted said. So Hunted was like, well, Hunted expressed like the peace and solitude and like isolating and going to like to a mountain or something. And I'm saying that like that's like escape like that is not realistic because there's no like true escape in this world. Not to reality. So yeah, I mean social aspect. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I think like isolation is a social aspect. I think that really is what isolation is. It's like yeah, to be away from society, to be away from people. That's like that is what it means to be isolated. Um, and like for a person who isolates themselves, yes, they will feel like a person who's isolated in the short term, they will feel peace, but that person is just wallowing in their fragility. Like that person who's like isolated is just basically using the isolation as a crutch. The isolation isn't actually a solution. It's just like not facing your fears. It's not like facing what's like troubling you. And if you never face what's troubling you, if you only sit there and like, yeah, wallow in your like in your misery for like people. I mean, a person who like runs away kind of seems like they don't like people in general, which is like fine. That's fine to do, but like at least have control over yourself, you know? Hello, Kelstorm. Isolation is so based. I don't think so. I think, look, if you actually have control over yourself, if you're actually like a functioning human being, just a functioning person in general, I think, yes, isolation can be good. Like, isolation is fine. But if you're isolating yourself because you simply cannot handle the information of the, like, of reality, of, like, other people, if you can't handle that, I think, like, I don't know. And I'm not, like, so, like, there's a balance here. I'm not saying you have to be around everyone, but I am saying that if the reason you're running away is because, like, you have a fragile emotional state, you should, maybe not all at once, right? You don't have to jump into the deep end, but you should, like, try and work on that. While drawing your while Dennis, your drawings today are high quality. Thank you. I I'm trying. I'm trying to get better. If, like, information itself is enough to shatter you, then you are a fragile person. So, you should work on that and not let that happen. Say hello to my parrot, Pico. Hello, Pico. The parrot. Actually, that's a pretty good name for a parrot, honestly. Congratulations. You've made a good name. He's a cocktail bird. Nice. I can't wait to move one day. I want to isolate from people so bad. Well, if that's what you want. I just think that I don't think you'll be happy. Because for the most part, people, like, want people. People deeply yearn for people. People yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, people say all the time, yeah, I want to just, like, get away from all of it. But, like, in the end, I don't really know how much of that is true. I mean, like, okay, I'm not doubting the fact that you want to, like, get away from people, but I am doubting the fact that you want to get away from people completely. There's a certain aspect of people that you want to get away from, but that's not like all people are. So once you've isolated yourself and you're actually completely alone, I mean, like, you'll have no one. Like, once you're alone, there's no one to, like, the reason why people go to YouTube, the reason why you're on YouTube, or, like, you watch, like, any other person, or, like, you go talk to anyone, is because you actually yearn for, like, a connection. If a person who doesn't yearn for connection doesn't interact with people, the reason you interact with people is because you need something from them. At least you want something from them. So while you think that you might, like, want to, like, get away from people completely, I think you might find that once you actually have isolated yourself, you're going to be miserable. Because at the end, like, at the core of it, you don't want to get away from people. You want to get away from how people make you feel. Right? At least in, like, some part. Like, there's some part of, like, people that makes you feel bad. But it's not like all people. Like, you don't feel that for everyone. But if you like, go to the extreme of isolating yourself completely from every single person, you've not only cut off the part that you wanted to cut off, you've, like, cut off everything, and then you're just gonna suffer. Yeah. The actual solution to this is to get control over, well, your inner self, like, your emotions, basically. A person who can actually get control over that, well, that person is no longer fragile. People have hurt me, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying that people are, like, I'm not saying that people are all good or people only bring good emotions, but I am saying that if you have control over your emotions, yes, people hurt you, and people probably will hurt you again. Well, maybe, people will hurt you again if you allow them to hurt you, to be honest. But, like, that's part of it. That's kind of just part of living, which is, like, maybe not the most comforting thing to hear, but, like, you also like there are parts of people that you like for a lot of people, even the people that okay, like for a lot of people's problems come from their family. Like I know this, like yeah, like definitely, like in my case, like a lot of problems come from your family, a lot of like, but like unless you have like the worst family imaginable, unless your family is like actually pure, like just unwelcome feelings, unless that's your family, usually even if your family does cause you problems and causes like a majority of problems, you still actually love your family and you still do seek out like some amount of like connection. So like that's like that in itself is proof that, well, like people aren't just like a one-sided negative. So like it's not even like people, like all people, or like not all people are bad, or like do bad things, but it's like even the people who do bad things or like have wronged you, they still have some value to you in the first place. Hello, it's Gaz. Welcome to the stream. Finally made it this time. Hello, hello. Oh, there's a reason I want to be alone. It's fine. Well, if you say so. I see that too, but if you think about it, it will always be, it will always seeing people in the internet. What will you do? I agree that I enjoy being alone idea, but I think we need people just like us tech. Like the yeah, hello Misty, by the way. Welcome. Yeah, what I mean is we live, yeah, like okay, you can go into the wilderness, but the wilderness shrinks, right? Like the wilderness isn't going to be the wilderness forever. So I'm saying even if you want to like do like a real physical like retreat, you're never gonna be able to do that. Are you the type of person that could live in the world? Like, okay, let's even take like the wilderness example. Are you actually the type of person who can actually like live? Are you like that confident that you can survive alone? Like, there's a reason that humanity is a social species. Usually, people need other people. Like, what are you gonna do when you're older? When you're like elderly, can you take care of yourself? No, you need other people. Like, no matter what you do, you can't escape the fact that people need other people. Like, if you don't go to the wilderness, you're gonna need to, even if you like live alone, you're gonna need to go to the grocery store. Or maybe not, maybe you can like order on Amazon. And like, how much are you gonna isolate yourself from people? Are you never gonna use the internet? People are on the internet. Are you gonna like cast away all the technology? I don't know. It just seems impractical. It seems like like it seems like isolation might be the easiest option, but in the long run it seems like the harder option with the most difficulty. The easier option seems to just be to get better at like managing your insides and how you feel. Look, is calling the police on your parents, not abusing parents, loving parents with some bad things, because they want to free my parrot out of the house? What? Is that a question? I don't really know. I don't really know what. I don't see a question there. Yeah, hello Misty. How's your day going? Is calling the police on your parents because they wanted to free my parrot out of the house? Is that what though? Like, are you asking like, is that bad? Is that good? I don't know. I know it sounds good to, it sounds like a good thing to let a bird fly, but he was bored with people, was tamed before, and will most likely die after not too long. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's probably a bad decision to like free a domesticated animal. Like a lot of animals who are domesticated are not going to be able to take care of themselves in the wild. They just don't have the skills for it. Yeah, like is this bad? I mean, like, well, I don't know if that's like a police's job. I don't know if it's the police's job to handle that situation in the first place. So I don't think I would have called the police. But is it bad? I mean, I don't know. When it comes to bad or good, I find it very difficult to like even pin that down. I don't think it's bad. I think, I mean, in the end, it's just two people like acting. It's like two sets of people acting in accordance with like what they believe is right. So, yeah, I don't think it's like a bad thing to do what you did. It depends what the goal is supposed to be. Good or bad only has like value when it pertains to an actual goal. A knife is bad for like hammering a nail, and so a knife is a bad hammer, but a hammer is a good hammer. Obviously, hammer is a bad knife. But it doesn't really make sense to be like, is a knife good or is a knife bad? Because a knife doesn't really, it really only makes sense to judge a knife based on a context. I don't know. I mean, so it's, yeah. No, it's okay. It's been years, but I just, oh wait, hold on. I remember when my grandpa murdered my bird. What? Why? They did it as a punishment. And they said it themselves didn't let me bring him to a different family. But I don't know. That doesn't exactly make. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that seems like a not the most healthy way to do things. As a punishment, I'm going to let this living being out into the wild so it can possibly die. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good decision in general. But what am I to say? I would say, yeah, that's not good. Of course, I'm saying that purely based on my own feelings. Not for him to punish me. Yeah, but like that still doesn't make any sense though. My grandpa murdered it because I think my bird. Oh, so not like a murder, but more like a euthanization. Like, like a horse that breaks its legs is usually put down, or something like that. I was like 7. Didn't care too much for him. I don't know. I mean, like, is that a murder? A murder is like a wrongful killing, right? I don't know. I don't know if I'd call like. I don't know if I would call putting an animal out of its misery like a murder. But yeah, I mean, like, would I call it a murder? I don't know. It depends. Like, if the intent was to like save the animal from like suffering, I don't think so. I probably should have brought it to a vet though. I don't have enough information on this. I don't think I'm. Yeah. In any case, I'm gonna continue drawing. Exactly. He just did it in front of me as a 7-year-old. Well, I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on the type of person, type of child that you are. Some children like especially children who are raised on a farm are, in general, used to like seeing like the death of animals. I think the yeah, it really just depends on the child. Dennis, I was practicing my lines and I feel more confident now. I was doing the basics. Because I think I lacked them: observation and hand control. Well, I mean, well, that's good. That's good. Good job. Feeling more confident is definitely a good step in the right direction. It's probably a big step in the right direction. I think it's weird how people make a distinction between killing bugs and killing like any other animal. And like, I mean, I understand that like people connect more to things that look more like them, or people are like things that people like, but like objectively speaking, I don't know if there's any real difference. Not like I don't know if there's any real difference between like killing an insect and killing a larger being. Maybe you can relate to like the emotional capacity like of like a larger animal, like a bird, a mouse, a dog, a cat, something like that. But like in the end, I mean, they were all like living beings. Now, I don't have a problem with like people killing things, but it kind of does seem hypocritical to like it kind of does seem hypocritical to be like killing insects are bad. Killing yeah. I mean killing insects are good. Like yeah, it's okay to kill pests. But killing things like other things like even and like maybe you can say that like insects or like pests are invasive and stuff like that. But like people would rather save a, people would rather save like a kitten than like a pig. And like I don't know. Maybe insects have less pain. I mean, yeah, like you can definitely you can empathize with like yeah, the suffering that an animal goes through. You can but like I don't know. It seems like people value life. Like people think that life itself is something valuable. And even so, people still like end up killing things that are alive with little to no remorse, and sometimes even taking pleasure in it. With like, which like, I mean, I don't even like. I'm not saying this as like a surprising thing. I'm not saying this like I'm surprised, but I'm saying like it seems a little weird. It seems a little contradictory. I mean, but that's just like how people are wired, though. So I'm not really, yeah, I'm not really upset with it or anything like that. Even if that's like, even if people, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't think I could be upset with it anyways. That's just how like the world is. But still, they want to save hippos in Colombia. There were a few owned by Pablo Escobar, and now they're a big population. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Hippos are cool. I think hippos are my brother's favorite animal. What am I drawing here? Like that. It's unbelievable how cruel people can be. That's not what yeah, that's not even what I think it's totally believable how cruel people can be because people are animals. At the end of the day, people are in fact animals. Like we're animals. That's just how it works. Nature is cruel, and we're born from nature, so of course we're gonna be cruel too. But it's not the cruelty that shocks me. It's the contradictory nature of like what people value. Or maybe not maybe it's not contradictory. I mean, obviously if people are doing it, it's probably like there's a logic behind it. There's probably nothing in this world that like doesn't have a logic behind it. But sometimes things just seem hypocritical. And like people are just like okay or like brush aside the hypocriticalness of like some of the nature that people like exhibit. Which like causes me it causes me a lot of confusion in myself because like in one part of my heart I accept that like yes that's just how people are, but in another part of myself it's like but like can't you guys like see that it's like some parts of like what you believe is like a little bit contradictory or doesn't really make sense and you guys are just like okay with believing it. So like it's weird how like I try to be neutral but some part of myself is like trying to not be neutral. Very weird. That's basically the plot of Planet of the Apes, Rapdoc. I wonder if monkeys eventually evolve into more. Yeah, that is basically. That's true. But think about it: animals don't enjoy seeing you suffer. They just don't care. They will use you as food or something, and leave. Yes, but okay. Why is enjoying seeing something suffering like like okay? I don't think I don't think an animal enjoys seeing you suffer, but an animal certainly enjoys the process of you suffering because it's eating. Like because like an animal does take pleasure in eating you. It's just not taking pleasure like from you suffering per se, but like if the like I don't see why like precisely the enjoyment of another person's suffering, other than it like is probably bad for society to be made up of people like that. I don't see like an intrinsic reason why I'd be like that's like a bad thing or that's like unbelievable. I think that's just like how people are wired. Like it makes sense. Like I think for like from an evolutionary standpoint, it makes sense like why people would have evolved to like there's a like yeah, it makes sense the way people would have evolved to like enjoy seeing their enemies suffer. If you enjoy seeing your enemy suffer, that like if your enemy is suffering, then you're probably prospering. Like when it comes to like cruelty, like what you call cruelty, I think cruelty happens with intelligence. Like yeah, I think that's basically it. Like you can see like kind of that same type of thing happening in like dolphins. Like basically the more intelligent you get, the more you take part in like things that are less logical. If you enjoy the result and don't care about the way you get it, it is different. If you enjoy the result and don't care about the way you get it, is I mean fair. At the end of the day, like whether you're an animal or whether you're a person, like yeah, animal and people do the exact same thing. People want to satisfy their desires. Animals want to satisfy their desires. An animal is hungry, so it eats. A person wants to like and eating makes the animal feel good. A person just has more things that can make them feel good. Like yeah. So like whether a person's like a sociopath or a psychopath or something like that, and they like seeing people suffer, that's like the same thing as like an animal eating for food. It's just like the food in this case is like the desire, like the happiness that comes from like seeing someone suffer. It's the same mechanism. It's just one is triggered like one doesn't have like a physical real like but the thing is it's the same it's the same thing. Like animals and people just want to satisfy their desires. So I don't find it weird how like people like do cruel things. I find it unfortunate perhaps, but I don't find it weird. Yes, why do people why do people get offended when they get called animals by biologists or something like that? Sometimes people okay, like I think people in general want to feel special. Um, it's the same reason why people don't like to be called objects. Like people don't like to be objectified. People don't like to be objectified because it's like a sense of dehumanization. People think that to be human is not to be an animal. So to call them an animal would be to like dehumanize them. It's a lack of understanding of like what a biologist means. Basically, when like there's a like especially for certain words, there's a lot of weight that comes along with them and like extra like hidden weight. So like we I think I talked about this before. You can say something very simple, but like a person can like take a lot from that simple thing that you said, even if you didn't mean it to be. So you're back? Hello back. Welcome back, Kaz. So when someone hears about animal, like what do you think about? An animal is less intelligent. Is an animal has like less feelings. An animal has like less logic. An animal is like this primal beast that kind of just does whatever it feels like it without like any like deeper thought. So to call a person an animal, like I'm not saying that's what an animal is. I'm saying that's what people think animals are, right? It's like so instead of being a category of like thing or like biological like life form, people don't think that's what an animal is. People think animals are just like are like basically like a wild beast. So if you're calling someone like a wild, unsophisticated beast, when they very much value their humanity and they very much value like their like critical thinking and their logic, they're gonna get offended. In the end, it's pride. The reason why people like yeah, the simple answer, yeah, people are prideful. They don't like to feel insulted. And people associate like animal with like being lesser. So because animals are lesser and you're calling people animals, they feel less special than they used to feel before. They feel like less intelligent. They think that you're calling them less intelligent. Therefore, they're gonna get offended. Hello, Protect Bang Chan. I haven't been here in so long. I keep missing the lives. I'm back. Welcome back. Are you Lee? Anyways, hello, Protect Bang Chan. It's like their autonomy goes bye-bye. Yes, yeah. Pride. Duck Doodle? Doesn't really matter how many times you ask. No. You're Maddie. I see. Hello, Maddie. Welcome to the stream. The old stay. I thought it was the old stay fellow, but no, it's not Lee. Bro, I'm so sore. Like your hands, your arms. From crocheting. Rip. But like, yeah. Even that thing. And I like the that's very cool clothes. I like the sunglasses a lot. Thank you. Yeah. In the end, like the deepest reason is like people just don't have control over. People really just don't have control over their emotions. They let information like control them, or rather, they let information like sway their emotional state, which is like. I think that's like the main thing that's been happening nowadays. Information is like really taking a toll on people because they just don't have control over themselves. And I don't think that's going to go away. I don't think that's like a fixable thing. I think some people will always have more control over themselves than other people, and that's just how it is. In 3 ways, my arms I worked out yesterday. Yes, and crocheting. Oh, okay. Anyways, I shall disappear again to continue crochet. I see. I keep missing the lives. Maybe you do. Seems like you do. Oof. Okay. That doesn't quite make sense. I'll just like do something like that. I don't think this man is secretly a psychologist or a person who gives very inspirational speeches. I'm not a psychologist, no. Although I do like psychology. Nah. Yeah, I think I can give. I think I'm probably better at giving inspirational speeches. Maybe, I don't know. See, the thing, like I was gonna say, I'm better at that than like talking about. Maybe I'm better just talking about philosophy in general than talking about like. Biology and stuff. I'm not a biologist, although I do like biology and stuff. I think when it comes to inspirational speeches, it really just depends like who you are. Unfortunately, I wish there was like one like inspirational thing I could say that would like uplift everyone and like help everyone. But the thing about people is like people are so different. Like people are the same in a lot of ways. Like they're based like the fact that people want us to satisfy their desires, that's like probably the same for like basically everyone. A person who does anything does it to, like for a goal to satisfy themselves, but like the way that a person like takes inspiration or takes motivation is so like different from each other. Like there's so many different ways, and I don't have enough information to like do that. I wish I could though. I want to get better at that. I just joined. What are you drawing? I'm just trying out different like. I'm just trying to get better. I got rusty a couple days ago at like drawing, so I've been trying to like learn how to get better. So up here I was focusing on clothes. Right here I was focusing on the stomach. Right there. Down here, this is like last night. I was focusing more on like the musculature, on like abs and stuff like that. But yeah, he's proven my no. Um, I'm not a psychologist, but I did spend around. I spent a lot of like maybe like 5 years figuring out how I think. I spent like a very long time trying to figure out myself, and yeah, it turns out I'm not like that. I'm not that unique from like everyone else. I think everyone has like one or two things that like really separates them from like other people. Combined with like their like life experience and like, cause like most people's life experience, while it's like kind of similar to other people, it's like there's like some small variations that like really make a person like unique. Um, so while like me as myself, I'm a pretty unique person as is everyone else. I have very broad, like there are very broad things like of people that stay relatively close to the same. So if I understand myself pretty well, I could almost maybe understand other people too. So I think it's helped me understand other people by understanding myself. But plus, I just watched a lot of I saw like psychology videos. Like I think what's his name? I watched a lot of Dr. K. Like from Healthy Gamer. I used to watch him like a lot. Like that was like one of my favorite things to do when I was drawing and stuff. Now that looks good, thank you. I used to watch like Dr. K a lot because yeah, I don't know, I found psychology really interesting. And then I got into philosophy, so like yeah, and then I stopped watching Dr. K, I like got into philosophy, and mainly I got into philosophy mainly like out of necessity. I think if I didn't, I would have been a little bit more lost than I am right now. So I'm actually happy I did. I started like talking about like philosophy a lot, like with people and stuff. Or I say people, but yeah, it was fun. So philosophy is fun to me, and like psychology is cool. So combining psychology and philosophy is, I think, I don't know. It definitely helps when like trying to figure out like how people are. It's not foolproof though. I'm basically done with this. I kind of want to draw an object. So I'm gonna draw an object. Let me see. Draw an apple? Oh, wait, an app? What is that? I could draw an apple. Do I want to draw an apple? I could draw an apple. I was more thinking of a mechanical object. I'm gonna draw maybe like a bike or some sort of train or some sort of item. I mean, some sort of like vehicle, I think. But I'll draw an apple, sure. Oh, that's cool. The fact that I'm gonna draw an apple or something else that I said. How does this work? So the apple has this thing, I guess like that. A motorcycle or train would be nice. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be something like that. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this apple in. We need a name for the apple. Welcome back. Oh, never mind. Okay, hello. You're welcome back. DLM. It's like that. I think it'd be like something like that. Something like that. And then, Dennis, will your story have vehicles? Yes. Vehicles are needed in general. It would be a little bit more unbelievable if there were no vehicles. The place is just too big. Dennis, what do you do when you don't draw and eat? Draw and sleep or eat? If I don't draw or sleep and eat, I play with my siblings, like on the game. Either that or I'm like, well, okay, that's technically drawing. I was gonna say either that or like I teach my sister how to draw. Or I try to at least. Or I guess I just draw with my sister. But yeah, that's drawing. So, other than that, I guess I play video games sometimes. Although, to be honest, if I'm not really, yeah, for the most part, if I'm not drawing or eating or sleeping, I am, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just drawing. Usually, if I'm not drawing or eating, I'm sleeping. And if I'm not sleeping or drawing, I'm eating. And if I'm not doing either of those, like sleeping or eating, then I'm drawing. So I'm usually only drawing. Name of the apple Joshua. Joshua's a cool name. Well, for an apple. A cool name. Wait, a cool name? It's an okay name. It's a good name for an apple. Whatever that means. You have siblings? I do, yes. I have 2 siblings. I have a brother and a sister. Both younger than me. Let's call her Dennis Jr. Yes, my little sister Denise. And my brother, what's another thing, like, Daniel. Yes, Daniel and Denise. And Dennis. I'm so good at naming people. I was wanted a little sister. I think I did too. I don't know. I was wanted a sibling. Yeah, probably because I was like lonely as a child, though. To be honest. I was quite the lonely child. Dennis, Dion, and Denise. Yes. Dion works, yeah. Reminds me of Leon Kennedy from Silent Hill? Yeah, I think it's Silent Hill. Okay, this apple is almost done. Although the stem is kind of hard to see. Let me see. Can I just like make it really dark? Okay, maybe like that. Yes, you're an older child. Yes, yes, I am. I have a little brother, but he's just 1 year and 8 months, so it's not fun. I have a little brother. Yeah. Well, it'd be like that. Sometimes it'd be like that. Dennis, do you like Resident Evil? I like the aesthetic, yes. Dennis is an ancient, yes. My siblings are very much younger than me, so I don't really connect with them, which makes me feel like a bad older sister, but I try. Yeah, true. My brother's like, yeah, my brother's like basically half my age. So yeah, but like I do connect with, I think I connect with them vaguely well. I think like, okay. I think as a child I wanted a peer. I wanted someone who's like in the same age range as me that I can like talk to stuff about, basically like in the same range as me. And so like, yeah, that's what I wanted. But like I'm not unhappy with like, I think I was just lonely. Like I think that was basically it. I'm not really lonely anymore. I don't actually feel lonely, even though I am I'm not alone though. So yeah, I'm not lonely and I'm not alone. But when it comes to people like in my same like age range that like I can talk to stuff about, I don't really have that. But I'm not unhappy with that actually, because I mean, what am I gonna talk about? Drawing? So yeah, but like other than that, yeah, I play like video games with my brother, and I draw with my sister. I guess sometimes we like all play video games actually. Like we play Rain World. I like, you know, if you've ever played Rain World, there's like this arena mode where like you can what's it called? In Rain World, there's like this thing where you can like play, and I forgot. Yeah, there's like an arena where you like 4 people can play and like fight each other, and like there's all them, and you have to like survive like the other creatures in Rain World. It's like a fun thing. So like we do that sometimes. It's fun. You let your sister see your notebooks? No. No one sees my notebooks. I mean, when it comes to this, like sometimes they just like barge into my room, so it's like I don't really have a choice. It's not like I let them see it. I'd rather not. I'd rather them not. But like, I mean, I can't really do anything. Yeah, when it comes to this one specific, because like this notebook is basically always open, and I don't really close it, and I'm always drawing in it, so like it's kind of very hard to. Fuck. Yeah, it's very hard to do that. and I think that also some older brothers, but mine isn't too much fun. Oh wait, I don't have fun with my siblings too much, except for my older sister, and older sister are awesome. No, that's good. That's cool. Dennis isn't that old. No, I'm ancient. I'm gonna turn to dust soon. Dennis, how did you learn to draw? I just, well, first I started drawing. I mean, like, how do I draw? I looked at artists that I liked that inspired me, and even more than that, I just looked at art that inspired me. I tried to copy it. Especially so like especially for sketchbooks, I think a lot of people get caught up on color. So when you're doing sketches, when you're just trying to get the foundation better, a lot of people get caught up on like colors. They get caught up on composition, which is very important for like a finished illustration. But you're not going to be able to make like a really great finished illustration, especially when you're just starting out. When you're just starting out, I would recommend you actually start with like sketches. So like looking at like artist sketches, kind of like this, like if you can see like this sketch, right? Like these sketches, I like looked at things like, oh, hold on, it's messing up. Oh yeah, I looked at things like this, where like you can just see the line work and you can see like how an artist were to construct something. And Yes, are you 21? I am, yeah, something like that. So yeah, I have a bunch of like sketches right here, and I used to like, yeah, try and learn from them. So yeah, so mainly sketches and line art and like manga. That's really what I focus on. Yeah, Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest. I have Pinterest. Pinterest is good for like looking up references. I use Twitter for just like getting a passive feed of references. And there's like other apps like I guess Instagram maybe, Pixif, ArtStation maybe. There's like a bunch of other things, but yeah, Pinterest is cool. I'm on Pinterest right now, but yeah, this is 28,000 years old maybe. It was Pinterest. You showed. Yeah, that was Pinterest. And I think especially for like things like perspective, I think like, you know, like looking at art like this, where it's just like a sketch, especially when you're not like a pro, is very useful. Like I do this type of thing. I look at this art, like this type of art all the time, because it helps you figure out how to sketch. I think the ability to do like to sketch is very important. So figuring out how to sketch in general is a good skill. I need green. There you go. There's green. So yeah. That basically, yeah. So basically, every single drawing I do is a kind of study. I always use reference. Always use reference. Reference is really good, really handy. You're not able to draw something if you've never seen it before. Yeah. So use reference. I need to do math, but I don't wanna. Motivate me? I can't really motivate you to do math. I'm okay at motivating people to do art, but I'm not that good at math. Or motivating people to do math. Same. I still got to do my French and German class test correction. I have a friend, and she's really talented. Your art kind of reminds me of hers in some way. That's cool. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. Hello, Del Ren. Welcome to the stream. You motivate me to not do math. I mean, it's math, right? It's very difficult to motivate someone to do math. It's math. Who wants to do math? Not I. Actually, I did like math, to be honest. Math was pretty fun for me, actually. Is it compliment? Sorry. No. I was yeah, no, yeah. I took it as a compliment. I was just like, I really just didn't know what to say. Sometimes I find it very hard to respond to compliments. Des, do you think gesture helps how to sketch? Yeah. Yes, I think so. Especially, well, yeah. Especially if you're timed, if, like, it's time gesture drawing. I did that a lot, too. I did time gesture drawing. That's quite helpful. I think, yeah, gesture drawing helps with, like, flow and making your poses dynamic, which, like, really helps with your sketching. Another thing that helps you learn how to draw is, like, understanding 3D shapes. Just, like, how things work in 3D. That's very useful. So, yeah. But I'm keeping the stream as background noise. I got 33 on on the test, sadly. Oof, rip. All right then. Hello, ZZ. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Mr. Snoring Person. Or maybe you're Mrs. Snoring Person. Who knows? Hello, Pixel. Welcome to the stream. What was the topic? Oh, for the test. Yes, hello, Pixel. Welcome to the stream. How's your day going? Want a story time? Because I have one. Not sure if I said this story before, though. Well, you can go ahead. Going well, but a bit nervous. Going to have a video call with a lady I've been talking to for a couple days. Oh, nice. Well, good luck with that. Although I'm sure you don't really need luck. I found that the best way to talk to people in general, whether it be a woman or a guy, is just to go into it with zero expectations. Basically, try to have fun. The moment you stop looking forward to an end goal is the moment you, like, are able to relax. And if you relax, it'll probably go better. Maybe. Although, hey, I am not that good at that type of stuff, so yeah. All I can say is good luck. So basically, there was a murder a few months ago in our area, and it was the neighbors right behind us, and I was awake at the time, and a mother got murdered, and we visited the kids afterwards, or after, and it felt and I felt so bad because they're my friends as well. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I would say my condolences, but I guess you're not really the person to say my condolences to. I want to sneeze. I think it's gonna be weird if we hit it off, because soon she'll be going back to her home country, and she doesn't know how long she'll be there, so it might be a long distance type of thing. Ah, I see. Well, I have faith. Good luck. Good luck indeed. For mine, math can wait. Did you have any trick or treaters for Halloween? Well, like, I mean, my family doesn't really celebrate Halloween. So no. I mean, like, yeah, but even if we did, our neighborhood didn't like celebrate it. Or like, our neighborhood doesn't seem like it put up any decorations really for Halloween. So looks like there's no one here who like did that. Long story short, no. And they probably wouldn't come to our house because I mean, if we don't have any decorations. Because like we don't celebrate Halloween. To be honest, we don't really celebrate any holiday. The only thing we celebrate are birthdays. Wonder where the word holiday comes from. I don't celebrate Halloween either, but I just steal my friend's candy. It'd be like that. Hello, Ghosty. Welcome to the stream. Aren't your siblings sad because of that? No. We've never done Halloween, so there's no reason for us to be sad for never doing a thing that we've never done in the first place. It would be kind of weird to like be sad of something that you never like have done before. Can you draw JoJo Stan? I will not do that because I haven't watched JoJo's, and so I'm not really interested in drawing them. I only draw things that I'm really interested in, I think. In the first place, I'm not really drawing anything today. I'm really just practicing. Draw Bang-chan? Well, that's not gonna happen. I don't know who's... I'm not drawing anyone. I'm not drawing any idol. I'm not drawing anyone. Whether they're an idol or someone from an anime. Aw, shucks. Aw, shucks indeed. Bring that in. Bring that in. And then finally... that to go like that, and then wrap that around like there, and then wrap that around like there, and then bring that out like that. Anyone know the YouTuber Lays? Nope. Well, not I. Not me. I do not know that person. I didn't do the dates. Today's date is 11/9/25. Dennis, have you seen Pop Team Epic? I have not, no. Although I do know the art style and what they look like, though, yeah. Plants vs. School? What? What is that? Hello, Rancor. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's very random. It seems like that type of show. Seems like that type of show. It's my dad's birthday. Oh. Nice, nice. I hope he has a good birthday then. How long since you had your first live? Maybe like 6 months or something like that. 6 to 5 months, maybe. Yeah. Cube Girl. It is in fact Cube Girl, Calstorm. You are correct. I feel like it's been way longer. I don't know. Well, all you have to do to figure that out is just go to my just have to go to the live section of my YouTube channel and then sort by oldest. Well, it has only been 6 months? Probably, I think so. It's been a billion years. I think it's been 7 months. As you have progressed a lot in 6 months? Yes, I have, actually. I have progressed quite a bit. Thank you, thank you. Dennis, when cure to cancer? Are you asking when the cure to cancer is going to be? Sometime between now and like the rest of human history. I think, but I could be wrong. To be honest, we already have kind of a cure to cancer. It's called radiation, which is also the cause of cancer in some way. So, I gotta go. Okay, goodbye, Protect Bang Chan. Goodbye, Maddie. Have a good day. You are Maddie, right? You did say you're Maddie, right? I think you said that. Yes, have a good day. You're still pressing it on the paper? Are you my pen? Yeah. Wait, huh? Exactly how? Maybe I misread. Hold on. You are still pressing it on the paper. Oh. Oh, sorry. Dennis, how do you do that? Move the pen around without spilling ink? Are you talking about like this or something? You moved it on the paper and it didn't make... Oh, I probably wasn't moving it on the paper then. It like looked like I was moving it on the paper, but I probably wasn't. Yeah, sorry, I missed your other message. Okay, yeah, you're mad. Okay, cool. Dennis, you need to do a live where you draw like ham-fisted like a toddler the whole time. I am not gonna do that. I don't think I have enough patience for that. By the way, so if I do... It sounded like it. Are you becoming a pro for real? You just did it when doing the torso? Huh. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Well, hopefully I'm becoming a pro. That would be helpful. I've been putting a little bit more structure into my sketches since yesterday. Like I was saying, whenever I go through like art block, I guess as like I would call it. Whenever that happens, I try to find I like that's always the point of like when I'm getting better, like I get better faster when I go through like art block in that type of way because it forces me to find like a better way to draw. I don't know how to describe it. Like you jumped on the line, it was amazing. Huh. Sounds cool. Wish I actually knew what that was. Like what I did. I wish I was paying attention. You're talking about like I did something like that? Want me to send you the clip? Yes, please, actually. That would be helpful. That doesn't quite work. So it'd be something like that. And then when it comes to this, I'll just like move this in a little bit. Yeah, this only really, okay, so like, it'd be something like that. Even though this will get a little bit more messy, I think it's worth it for the clarity that this will bring to the actual like foundation, I guess. That is becoming pro. Okay, let me click on this. Let me turn down this. Okay, cool. No, I accidentally paused it. No, don't pause it. You know, I will say I did that pretty smoothly, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for the clip. By the way, what are the portfolios on Discord? That's just oh yeah, that's just for people like to put their arts, like it's like just a place for people to organize their art. Nothing special. Yeah, I did do it pretty smooth. Elf Girl is taunting on the haters. She is in fact doing that. Actually, I should probably bring this up because this is like underneath the body. Her head is a little bit big here. I would like to make it smaller. Yeah, you moved from the rib to the other side really smoothly without doing a line. I don't know how you did that. Oh, I mean, yeah. So like when I'm drawing, like I'm drawing very lightly always. So whenever I need to just not draw, I could like definitely yeah, I can definitely like move. Bro. Yeah, I've been trying to practice like drawing very lightly, so maybe it's paying off. Gonna bring in her cheeks slightly. Gonna pop at the top like there. I forgot to put this thing in. There you go. Like that. Hello, the normal human. How's it going? I'm just passing by. I'll be right back. Okay, goodbye, normal human. Yeah, her head in this, like, for this drawing is way off model, like, from her head in, like, this drawing right there. That's, like, I think that's the only thing I don't like about this drawing. The sketch right here. But not much I can do. Like the body? I do like the body, thank you. Yeah. It's a shame that the head is so large. I would have actually, yeah, I would have actually really liked this. Well, it's a note for later. Next time, make sure I actually get the head proper size. No, okay, so this is, how do I do this? Because, like, okay, the crotch is here, the butt is here. That'll be there, but, like, that's starting in there, so, like, I don't know how this works exactly. I'll figure it out, I guess. The distinction between the butt and the crotch is probably the important part. To make that distinction, what I need is shadow. And yeah, basically. And then I just take that like that. And then I'll just come over there and then I'll bring in some shadow. And then I think how this would work is some amount of shadow there. And I think that works, maybe? Yeah. Cool. Well, I tried. Des, I think you're the David Goggins of art. That's how so? Yeah. How so? I forgot to send you my sketches I did on my tablet yesterday. I'll send it to you soon so you can see it later. Okay, nice. Check it out after. Actually, I'll check it out once you send it. Didn't I say I want to do a vehicle? How did I end up doing bodies? I completely lost track of what I was doing. Let me see. I swear I had a folder. Not this. This ain't it. No, not it at all. Fine, I'll just do this then. Hello, because I don't believe in you anymore. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's your day? Hopefully your day has been well. Yeah, it's good. Nice, nice. That's good. I'm just bored and looking for things to do with my OCs. I'm making a universe. Well, I hope it goes well. An easy way to, like, I guess make a universe, I think, is probably to just, like, combine a bunch of things that you like into one universe, make it cohesive. I hope it goes well. Thank you. No problem. Also, is it normal for our OCs to be, like, way too tragic? No, no. There are a couple that are tragic. A couple that are funny. A couple that are normal. Just depends. Gotta go now? Okay, goodbye, Mr. Cracker. Art is cool, by the way. Thank you. I'll try to get better. Even better than I am right now. I'm not a pro yet, so I still have a ways to go. Hello, teacher. Welcome to the stream. How's your day going? How do you even do perspective? Also, my art is stylized a ton, so don't anime. So don't give me some. First, you need to learn anatomy, like my art teacher. Well, no. So you don't need to learn anatomy, but what you do need to learn is like how objects, basic, simple 3D objects work in, well, yeah, how basic, simple 3D objects work in space. If you're drawing like anime, well, first of all, if you are drawing anime, anatomy is going to help. Like, it will help you because in general, anime is based on the body. So if you know like basic anatomy, you're gonna be able to simplify it into your stylized shapes better if you have a better understanding of it. Of course, that doesn't mean you necessarily need to like know all the muscles. When people are talking about anatomy, they're just talking about the basic shape, right? They're not talking you need to know like what the traps are versus like the quads, even though those are like completely different. They're probably like the most, and like biceps and stuff. And you don't need to know like like, you know, all the ways that your abs work. But knowing general shapes is gonna help you. Knowing how to like put basic shapes like the cube, the sphere, the prism, cylinders, all those different shapes in 3D space and like work with them in perspective is gonna help. Obviously, things close to the camera, big, things farther away from the camera, small, things close to the camera are going to be blocking things farther away from the camera, as long as they're not see-through, of course. And when you're drawing like bodies in perspective, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be drawing simple shapes and then mapping body parts onto them, right? So just like an easy example would be like, let's say this is like the torso. This is going to be the torso. So like we're making it a square. It's going to be coming down. We're going to have the hips over here. Right. And then we're going to have like the legs way over here. Right. But all I'm drawing them with is these basic shapes that I understand in 3D space. Let's just bring the legs down here. I can't draw right there because the page is like off. Okay, there you go. There you go. So it doesn't really matter how stylized your art is because, I mean, when you're stylizing to stylize something, you have to have a pretty good grasp of what like the original thing is in general if you want to make like cohesive art. So like, yeah, while like I would disagree, like if a teacher was like, anime art is like not real art, I would disagree with that. I do agree that to like make better art, you do need to understand it mostly. I get anatomy kind of, but my style is a lot like the character A.C. Void from Friday Night Funkin'. Not exactly. Not like extremely stylized. Yeah, okay. So if it's like super stylized, just understand basic shapes, because in general stylized art is just basic shapes. So like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I do generally I do know some of like Friday Night Funkin's art. Yeah, but like, you know, yeah, just understand basic shapes. Like the head is a sphere, body is like a cube or box, I suppose. The body would be like a box. The legs are like cylinders. It depends on like what you want. Or the legs could also be like like boxes too, like longer boxes, rectangular like boxes. But yeah, that's to understand perspective. You just need to understand like, you know, things get bigger in closer to the camera, farther away, smaller. Things closer to the camera blocks things farther away, and you need to understand how to apply that to 3D objects like cubes, spheres. Okay, well, not necessarily spheres, but like cylinders. Spheres are kind of weird because they don't exactly change too much in perspective, but yeah. The only hard part is my limbs look weird when doing perspective. Even boyfriend has a skeleton. He does have a skeleton. I love the art style of Friday Night Funkin'. It's one of my favorites. Fair enough. Yeah, like, so you will need to like, okay, if you're having trouble. Like let's say for instance we have the arm coming over here, like coming down. Let's just say the arm is over here. If it were to bend, you have to understand where, like, you know, where is it bending to? Is the arm bending going back upwards? Because if the arm is bending back upwards, it's gonna shrink. So like the elbow would be the largest part of the shape, and up here would be the smallest. If it's bending towards us, like over here, it's obviously gonna get like larger. If it's bending over here, it's gonna like maintain its like mostly the same shape. Yeah, I'm gonna like have it going back upwards. So it's obviously gonna get smaller, and down here is gonna be like the largest the arm is gonna get. And without like proper knowledge of like how arms or like cylinders or things like that bend, it's gonna be very difficult. So I would recommend, if to get better at perspective, just look at art of things in perspective and try and figure out the basic shapes. Like try and break down your references into basic shapes and try and understand how you can like apply those basic shapes that you've broken down to your own art. I think that would probably be the best way to do that. I think so. That's basically what I did. Basically what I did. Also, something super difficult to make things seem 3D is art style. Is your art style doesn't use shading? Like, yeah, I can shade, but do I want to? Nah. Yeah, like, I don't know. If you don't want to shade, that's gonna be very difficult to put things Yeah, shading is very much important for 3D. Like if you take a video game and you take away all the shading, it becomes less 3D. So, I mean, it will, like if you want it to seem more 3D, you're gonna have to shade. If your art style if you don't want your art style to be in 3D, um then you don't have to shade, right? Like shading doesn't need to be part of what you're doing. But if you want it to seem 3D, then you're gonna have to bite that bullet and like start shading. Because yeah, shading is a very good indicator of like 3D shape. Dennis, if you want to draw a low angle shot of someone leaning forward and pointing down at the camera, it would be really hard to draw, right? Um, I mean, I think it would be the same amount of difficulty of like, I mean, most perspective is pretty difficult. It depends on your understanding of like it. If your understanding of it is good, then it won't be that difficult. If you have a poor understanding of like, yeah, how to do it, then it's gonna be more difficult. For instance, like you can understand this as sort of a low angle shot. So like someone bending is kind of like someone sitting. You can kind of see the same shape, like the shape that the body takes when someone's bending over and you're underneath them is like the same shape that they took if you're like sitting, if they're sitting on a chair and you're in front of them. So you can think about it in the way of like they're just sitting down and pointing at you. And it can be like their hand is like, if their hand is like in the focal point and their hand is like really up in the camera, you can like, you know, the hand is going to be like the largest thing in the shot. It depends how you frame it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be super difficult. My art style relies on line placement and sizes too to make things seem 3D. Well, okay, yeah. Like, for instance, if I do something like this, the art, like this cube is gonna seem like relatively 3D, kind of. This is like a pretty crappy cube, but like, yeah, this cube is like kind of 3D. You can kind of see it. And of course, if you have other things, so other objects in the scene that like, if there's like an object that's like being blocked or something like that, by like this object, it's gonna seem more 3D. But the real selling point, so like, yes, this is like kind of 3D. If you want to like really make it pop and really make it seem 3D, then shading is gonna take your art to like it's gonna make it actually like truly feel like it's like a 3-dimensional object. So, I mean, yeah. Basically, yeah. You kind of just need to figure out. I mean, you can definitely do a 3D object in without any shading. It's just going to be more difficult, and it's going to pop out less. Shading makes your 3D objects pop, and if you don't have any shading, it kind of loses that distinct quality of 3D. But yeah, that's the weird part. When I use shading, it doesn't feel like my style. You know, I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, but like, it depends what type of shading you have. If you have a super stylized like style, then what I would recommend is you just do cell shading, right? Like Friday Night Funkin', oh, I actually don't know. I don't know if they use cell shading. I'm sure they have some amount of shading. I'm sure it's not just like complete how to say? I'm sure it's not just like complete flat colors. It could be, but like in the first place, Friday Night Funkin' doesn't even have that much depth when it comes to like the 3D aspect of it, I don't think. If it does, then they'll probably come from shading. Your art style is your art style no matter what you do. If you want your art style to stay the same, then your art style is gonna stay the same. But it seems as if it seems like you're dissatisfied with your art style, but also you want to keep the same art style. Which is like, I don't know what to say. Like, if you are dissatisfied with your art style, then you can just change like your art style. But if you want your art style to stay the same, then I mean, I guess it'll stay the same. It's more like, yeah, I don't really know what to say. Hello, Milkid, welcome to the stream. Yeah, they use like two tones, like just one shadow. Yeah, but like, even a simple shadow, like this shadow is not, this is not like a super detail. Not really. It's my art style. Not really. It's like my art style is good, but shading doesn't fit with it. That's why I can't do 3D stuff. Yeah, but that just means the art style is just a 2D art style, right? Like, I mean, if you're saying that your art style doesn't fit with it kind of just seems okay. 3D objects are more realistic than 2D objects. If your art style is super stylized, then to be 3D would like kind of, it seems like you're going against the very principles of your art style then. If you're trying to like add three-dimensionality, it kind of seems like your art style would be more of like a paper, like a two-dimensional cutout type of art style, rather than like an actual three-dimensional art style that can like actually be affected by perspective. So if you want to do perspective with your art style, then it's like gonna have to change. If you want to keep your art style like in the same 2D style, then you can do that. But to change, like, yeah, because I rely on line placement and size. Well, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. It's kind of like if it seems like you're trying to like take like, it'd be like if you took like the art style from like Rayman Legends, and then you tried to like make it like try to give it like a lot of three-dimensionality. Like you have his like foot like in the camera, you have his like head way back so it's like way smaller than his body. Like you can do that, but to do that you're gonna have to have some amount of like shading, some amount of like, like, yes, sizes are important, but to make it really pop, like shading is gonna, so it just depends on like what you want to do with it. If you want it to be more 3D, you're gonna have to stray away from the stylized aspect a little bit. If you want it to be more like keep the same style, like, okay, here's the thing. I don't actually know what your art style looks like, so I'm kind of giving advice blind. I realize that I don't really have a true grasp. What's Blender? It's a 3D, yeah, it's a 3D modeling software. Yeah, I don't really have good advice in any case because I just don't know what it looks like, so I won't be able to like really say anything. Wait, would it be considered shading if it wasn't gradient, like regular shading with blocks? Yes, that's what I'm saying, cell shading. Yes, that's still shading. Yes, cell shading is still shading. Like what, like, okay. Whether your art style does like this type of shading, where it's where it's only two tones, or your type of shading does like the soft type of shading where like, there's like soft like a blur, like they're both shading and they both give like 3D, like three-dimensionality. I'm not saying like, yeah, like it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't be able to add shading and it would like not look like I don't know, unless I don't really understand. Like drawing a little dark chunk under the neck, yes, that's still shading. No one's saying you have to do like realistic shading, but I'm just saying any type of shading will add like three-dimensionality. Like there's a difference between these two shadings. Like one is definitely more stylized, one is more simplistic, but they're both shading and they both look 3D. So I would say that from what you said, like this type of shading where it's just like very simple would probably be what you want to go for. Okay, cool. But yeah. I thought shading was like the realistic. No. Shading is just, what shading is how light works with, shading is, well, how light interacts with the object and like the shadows and stuff. So as long as something has shadows, it has shading. It doesn't need to be realistic, yeah. like, yeah, if you look at like Friday Night Funkin', I'm sure they have shading too. It just isn't realistic. Do you have any tips for a character with no pupils? Um, I I don't really know what I mean. You mean like for expressions? An expression doesn't just like have to deal with like your pupils or like yeah the your expression is a bunch of things like the way that your eyebrows form, the way like how much your eye is squinting or open, the amount that you're like the face. So yeah, if you don't have any pupils to give any like expression, work with like the mouth, the eyes, the eyebrows, you know. Yeah. What about what they're looking at? Well, you can't really tell what a character's like. The eyes are. It's kind of like, I mean, that's kind of like wearing sunglasses and being like, well, how am I supposed to like? Yeah, if someone's wearing sunglasses, you can't tell what they're looking at. That's kind of like the same thing of like not having any pupils. You have like less of an understanding of like where they're looking. You can't really fix that. Maybe I mean, you can give indications of what they're looking at, like maybe the character can be like maybe like interacting with the thing that they're looking at or pointing at something, or but when it comes to like truly knowing, no, you can't really do anything with that. Question: is there anyone who got you inspired for your art style or artist that you like? Just wondering. There's no particular artist who like I'm taking inspiration from. I'm not trying to copy a particular artist, although I do try and learn from a bunch of different artists. So like I tried to learn from Yusuke Murata. I tried to learn from Tatsuki Fujimoto, 58W. Yeah, there's a mangaka named Oh Great who does the manga for Monogatari. No, yeah. So basically, any type of just any artist that I'm inspired by, any art that I like, yeah, I just take inspiration from. My art style right now is just a culmination of all the things that I like and that I've seen so far, basically. There's a specific art style some Friday Night Funkin' mods use called circle hodes. Mods like Friday Night Funkin' mid-fight masses, or Friday Night Funkin' makes you smile. Never heard of that type of style before, but I'm sure it's cool. All right. I'm done with that. How about, let me try out another. What? What do you mean user not found? Why would my user not? What? Huh? I'm confused. That's weird. Hello, 1D. Welcome to the stream. Goodbye, Dealum. See you around. Dennis, have you practiced Monogatari? I have not. I have not. I guess I just haven't made time for it. Maybe today. Well, at some point I probably will. Why do you feel like you know that purple cat? I don't know. If you had to set one goal for your page/art career, what would it be? My goal is just, I guess my art career, my page. For my art career, I don't know. Make money. I mean, if we're not talking about art and if we're not talking about art in general and we're just talking about like the career aspect, I don't know. Make money from it, I guess, right? I mean, yeah. But when it comes to art in general, I'd want to like, yeah, I want to become able to draw, like, basically, I want to be able to draw the human body in, like, basically doing anything, in, like, any pose, in the action, like, really good. I want to become an art god, like a professional. I guess my goal is to just become a professional. Which, like, yeah, I'm really doing YouTube because it seems like the easiest way to do an art career while doing what I actually like to do. My goal is to finish my little universe I'm making. Nice. Well, I'm sure it'll go well. Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, what makes sense? Something that I said or something else? Oh, that YouTube is the easiest way to do what I want to do while still like having a career. Do you consume a lot of anime? I think I have consumed a good amount. I've watched a good amount. I've watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Re:Zero, Monogatari, Attack on Titan. Yeah, I've done a lot. I have Summertime Rendering, Cyberpunk and Edge Runners, obviously, Freerun, Delicious in Dungeon. Yeah, a lot. Hello, Lel, welcome to the stream. How's your day going? Dennis, do you like when an artist takes an animal and designs a character out of it? I think it's cool. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. What should you post about the Echoverse? What should you draw? You should do what interests you. That's what you should do. When it comes to art, you should really just do what interests you. Because art, in general, is a personal thing, so, you know. It's not gonna be, you're not really gonna have fun, or it's not gonna be mostly good art if you're not enjoying it. But I don't have any ideas. If you don't have any ideas, then consume some media. Look at things that you like. Look at stories that you like. Usually that'll give you some ideas. Be like, oh, I kind of want to do something like that, or I kind of want to explore like this aspect of like my world, or I want to, you know, there's a lot of things that you can think about, given that you actually engage with like some amount of media. whether it be anime or it could be like, yeah, like cartoons, movies even, yeah, anything. Take ideas. I'm like 50% done through my render right now. Oh, nice. What are you rendering? Also, I'm just making the characters so far. How the heck do I world build? Well, like I said, look at some, look at some media. Figure out ideas. Figure out what you want to explore. You're not gonna know what to do if you've never seen any world building. If you've never taken into like consideration how people do world building, you're not gonna be able to do good world building. You have to like yeah, understand how it works. So basically, media is key. Yes, take in more. Yeah, understand how other people build their worlds, and then you'll be able to build your worlds yourself. That's how you do it. Reference, exactly. References. Like when it comes to art, yeah, references for basically everything is key. Hello, Lily. Not your father, but yes, hello. Healing my mom to let me have more time on my devices. Well, I want to make a show, but I don't know how to. Well, it's just a barista girl again. Oh, okay, fair enough. She has a good design. You are, though? I am not, in fact, your father, no. I'm making a show. It's gonna be called Seven, or I don't know. I might spell it like Seven. Oh, nice. My brain is just tomboy infested. I don't know how to draw anything else. When you have tomboys, do you really need to draw anything else? I don't think so. Wise word, Dennis, is... Also, I was bored, so I went to look at stores online and I found the 2 best stores ever. Nice. Hello, Mr. Creeper. They're called Gotham Rock and Vampire Freaks? Oh, I see. Thus, it should have been tough for ancient artists that didn't have any references and had to figure it out by themselves. Yes. Well, that's why ancient artists... Well, it depends how far back you go. Like, I mean, people always had references. A lot of art back in the day didn't focus on... A lot of art back in the day focused on things that people could see, whether it be like animals or like other people. People didn't have, yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it was that rough, actually. I mean, yeah, it was definitely more rough, obviously. Like, they didn't have like smartphones or anything. But when it comes to references, like, people always had references. How accessible they were. To get someone to like stand there and just like draw them, that was difficult, probably. But when it came to like, looking at like objects, well, people always had objects, so yeah. How was stylized art even called? I don't know. Who thought of it? I mean, people have been doing stylized art for like since the start of art. I mean, like they're like even like ancient people, like I'm talking like almost cavemen. Like they used to have like fertility statues where like they're like kind of the shape of women, but like they were definitely exaggerated. Unless that's just how women look back then, but I doubt it. But yeah, like people have been doing stylized art ever since, well, art. Like stylized art is kind of just the abstraction away from like the real nature of like how things looked. So like, you know, a child does stylized art. Like children do stylized art. Like they do it because they like literally cannot do anything else. That'd be funny. Imagine so back in the day that you have these, you see these women walk around. Yeah, like the fertility statues like have no heads. They have like massive hips. They're like boobs, ginormous. Fertility statues are really interesting looking. So I very much doubt that those were like humans, but like still they were stylized. I guess you'd call them that. I would call them that, at the very least. Is it normal to love info dumping about my characters? Yeah, everyone likes. I mean, a lot of people like talking about their own characters and stuff like that. Kind of, yeah. First of all, not your father, but yes, goodbye, Lily. Have a good time. Info dumping is fun. I don't know about the other end though. It depends how interested the person is in your characters. I guess it just depends on like how interesting. Yeah. In general, it doesn't really matter how interesting. Well, I mean, it kind of matters like how interesting your story is, but it also matters how interested the other person is. You can have the most interesting story in the world, and if the person just isn't interested, then that's the end of it. Speaking of circuses. There we go, there we go, there we go. I must refrain from info dumping my OC because it's just trauma dumping. Rip. Info dumps about my circus performer. No, yeah. I should start writing. Yeah, writing is fun. When I used to write more, it was fun. Well, does that body look so good too? Thank you. But my writing style isn't like those chapter books I was forced to read in fifth. Oh, isn't like those chapter books I was forced to read in 5th grade. Interesting. Purple. Alrighty. Now, remember when I asked y'all if you watch a lot of anime earlier? I need your knowledge for a duo cosplay. I can't remember any right now. Huh. Can do Alphonse and Edward Elric. There's a There's David and Lucy from Edge Runners. I mean, there's a lot of duos. Woman Crotch and dude, Woman Crotch. Gojo and Geto. Yeah, actually, true. Almost everyone I know who write about fantasy. Who wants to write about reality? Or so I say, but no, but seriously, like do you mean like fantasy as in like fantasy, like the actual like genre of fantasy? Or are you talking about just like fantasy as in just like fiction? Okarun Amnoma. True. That's a good one. We did Gyome and Gyu last time. We contemplated Nobara and Maki. Fair. It's obviously Todo and Yuji. The greatest duo. No, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of duos. Maybe something with power system. Oh, well, yeah, so I don't know. I feel like power systems are kind of necessary. I don't know, maybe not. Like, unless you have like a very soft, like, unless you're doing like, if people have powers, then I think that calls into question like how the powers work. So unless you're doing like a super like realistic setting, I think it makes sense that like most people would probably have like some amount of power system, and any type of power system is gonna seem kind of like a video game / fantasy because, well, usually, right? Like even the weirder ones are gonna seem like that. Like if you have like Lord of the Mysteries power system is like a video game, even though it's very much more unique than a lot of others. Or like maybe Hunter like everything is gonna have some sort of power system because people just want to know how like things work, right? Unless you're going with like a magic aspect, but if you're going with like a magic aspect for like power, then like magic, just like saying something is just magic in and of itself is kind of like fantasy. So no matter what, if someone has a sort of power system, it's gonna fall into like some sort of it's gonna fall into some sort of what's it called? Yeah, like fantasy looking thing, I think. Lord of the Mysteries, I need to check it. I thoroughly enjoyed the anime that came out, or I guess it's a dongwa that came out. The animation was good, and for the story, I can see a lot of potential. I don't know where it's gonna go, but yeah, it was a very solid first season. They're giving me these simple cosplays. Is it normal to draw the clothes with the body instead of drawing them with no clothes and then erasing to add the clothes? I'm confused. Like, what exactly do you like? As in, like, drawing the body and then drawing the clothes without erasing? Like, drawing both of them without erasing? I think that's normal. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's what I do. I have a pen though, so I don't really have a choice. I don't really know what it means to draw the clothes with the body. I mean, maybe like if you have a really simplistic style, if your body is just like a bunch of shapes, then I like Sun a lot lately. I have heard of that. I've seen that, I've seen that anime. I'm gonna watch it at some point. It looks interesting. It's on my to-watch list. Like drawing the clothes without drawing the body underneath. I mean, yeah. I mean, it depends on like how realistic your style is. If you're drawing like real human anatomy, then that's like, yeah, you can do that, but you must have a really good visual library of like how that looks already. If you're just drawing like basic shapes, like you're drawing like a square body, then yeah, you can probably just draw a square shirt over it because you don't really need the body. It's not like important. How did you draw the clothes without the body? Is your imagine? You can just have a really simplistic body. You don't have to, like, you don't need to draw. Like, if you're drawing, like, Friday Night Funkin', I can totally see the artist for Friday Night Funkin' just drawing the clothes, like, without the body. Because, like, it's a very simplistic art style, so it really just depends on, like, how realistic you are. If you're drawing, like, anime or, like, manga, yeah, no, you're probably gonna have to draw the body. Unless you're, like, Kim Jong-gi or something. Can you draw a Demon Slayer character? I can, but I won't. Hello, Demon Slayer. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really interested in drawing Demon Slayer characters right now. So, yeah. Yes, I think you have a very realistic art style. Maybe for the body, maybe. But when it comes to the face, no. Why am I not interested in drawing Demon Slayer characters? I'm just not interested in drawing Demon Slayer characters. I don't know. I usually draw characters that are, if I were to draw a character, I'd have to actually be interested, like, with the character themselves. Like, I would have to like the character. I'd have to like their characters so much that I actually, like, I'm compelled to draw them. Or they'd have to, like, have such a good design, like, in my mind that, like, it stands out so much and, like, basically lives rent-free in my brain. Then I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to draw that character. If a character does not, like, live rent-free in my brain, or their character type doesn't live rent-free in my brain, I'm probably just not going to want to draw them. Because realism is hard and boring. I think realism is pretty hard, is pretty boring. But, I mean... yeah, I mean, that's why I don't draw realism. And does it reflect your feeling? Because that's my main focus. Yeah, fair. I might need to learn from Dennis and how he draws the body. I don't know. If you can learn from me, then that's good. I don't know how good I'd be to learn from, though. Although I'm saying that, I'm sure, like, there must be something people can learn from me, so... if you can learn from me, then that's good. Am I the only Demon Slayer person here? What do you mean by Demon Slayer person? Are you talking like a person who's like obsessed with Demon Slayer? I mean, I'm sure there are people here who like Demon Slayer, but I don't know. I shall stick to stylized faces and eyes. The eyes too big, too bad. It's my style now. I mean, I like stylized faces, so they just look good to me, so that's why I draw them. I don't care if you draw anime girls with detailed hair. I don't care if you draw a super realistic apple. I'm more of a Chainsaw Man fan. Yeah, I love Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is cool. I'm more likely to draw a Chainsaw Man character than a Demon Slayer character. I just like the story more. Dennis the Master? No. Bro, I love your art. You talk about me? Thank you. Oh, not my art. My friend is obsessed. She was the pink and green butterfly. Pink and green. That's Mitsuri. Butterfly girl. I don't know. Pink and... oh, she does have pink and green, actually. Because I hear pink and green, I think Mitsuri. Because of the hair, but yeah. It might just be Mitsuri. Mitsuri, yes. I generally suck at Japanese names. Yes. I used to like Demon Slayer, but I lost interest after Mugen Train movie. I didn't like it. Oh, I actually really liked the Mugen Train movie. Oh, fair enough. She has brown hair, I think. What? Huh, I don't know. Well, anyways, let me continue. You know, I wasn't paying attention. Where's the plane? Okay, there's supposed to be some amount of plane shift happening for the crotch. It's probably supposed to be happening right here. So I think I'm just clear of like what I want, where I want it to be. Okay, I think this is pretty good. Just gonna shade in here. Dennis, is Lily one of your favorite characters by any chance? No, I like her design. I like, yeah, her inside of Chainsaw Man, yes. Which is weird because she doesn't really have a personality. In general, like, yeah, so in Chainsaw Man, I just like her aesthetics, honestly. I would say yes. Yeah, I like her design, I like her aesthetics. I like the vibe that she gives off. As a character, I like her, but like it's like complete bias. I don't have a real reason. It's just I like that type of character But usually the type of character that that's like Lil D at least has like something. Actually, you know what? Yeah, she does have some character. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like her. Yeah. For demons, I mean, well, that's Chainsaw Man. What? Yeah, love her design. The emotion, yes, yes. I love emotionless. I like the emotionless characters that have. I like emotionless characters. Bonus points that they have a personality, but like it's like blocked, but like you know, it's like filtered through an emotionless thing. Yeah. I knew it. Yes, you guessed correctly. I want to cook sausages. I ate all the rest yesterday. Oh. Is yaoi specifically male love male for anime? Yes, basically yeah. Specifically for anime, yeah. I mean, I think that's just the Japanese word for like boys love. So, I mean, technically, it probably can be used for like things that aren't anime. It just would be like it'd be kind of weird. I think, but yeah. So like, it'd be kind of weird to like call it like, I don't know. It depends on like what setting you are in. Guys, I think I have non-anime yaoi in my universe. What? What? Of course you would know that. Well, as someone who has like, yeah, been watching anime for a long time, of course I know the terminologies. That's like knowing what shonen is, or seinen, or shoujo, or what's the female shoujo? I mean, no, the female seinen. What's that? I forgot what that's called. Des, do you remember? Your name is Precious still. No, I don't remember you. Did you change it? But yeah. Oh, it's Lee. Hello, Lee. Welcome to the stream. What do you mean anti-oxidation? I'm rusty. I need to get rid of that process. I'm trying to de-rust myself. Are you pro brain death? Maybe, actually. In fact, you're so confused by me, but I understand entirely. That's just me being autistic, I guess? I don't think so. I don't think that's what that means. I just don't know what the I don't know what non-anime yaoi means. If you're just talking about gay, I don't know. I feel like non-anime yaoi is a weird way to say gay. It's just confusing. The only one I remember is ecchi because of the song. What? And what? What? Oh, the genres. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a song. I wouldn't doubt it, actually. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I believe Dennis said he's rusty 3 streams ago. Yeah, I was rusty 3 streams ago. I think I was, honestly. Like, hold on. Okay. I feel, and maybe this is just my personal opinion, I feel like this art is like, I feel like this art is like worse than the art I've been doing recently. Yeah, it's worse than the art I've been doing like recently. You know, that's just how I feel. Do you like the checkerboard patterns? Not really, not necessarily. I mean, they're cool sometimes though. Change the stainless steel already, Unk? Honestly, yeah. I need to. Yeah, what the hell? Okay. That's interesting. You said your experiences, but you don't know the song I'm on to. You said your experience, but you don't know the song I'm on to you? I'm gonna move on. Okay. Bro, I'd love to meet you, meet my younger self and show her about how I can draw guys. That's cool. Um, okay, you're saying that your past artwork is worse than your current artwork. That's called progress. I'm saying, okay, 3 days ago my art was bad. I would say my art was worse than. So 3 days ago my art was worse than my art now. 4 days ago my art was better than my art 3 days ago. So you know my art went down and then went back up, which is, I guess it is progress, but like it's progress in a funky way. Relatable. My younger self would be proud. Not gonna lie. No, I just couldn't draw men. Fair enough. You know, though, this drawing right here has like too big of a head. I think the head size was like the head size of 3 days ago was better, but yeah. So you had a bad art day? Yes. And to me, bad art day equals rusty. Nah, I guess that's probably like a bad way to say rusty though, you know. Rusty's more like you take a break and then. But I did take a break. I did take a break and I got worse though. That's rusty. It's called rust. That's rusty. Does I like that drawing a lot? Thank you. In the past, I used to not be able to draw girls. Now I can't. Now I still can't draw girls. So I draw a guy and call it a girl. Nah, you're drawing a guy, a girl. Sorry. Wait, how did I contradict what I was meaning to say? That's so interesting. I just wouldn't draw men. It'd be like that. I've had days that I feel like I forgot how to draw everything and everything. And everything I draw sucks. It's normal, at least for me. I mean, maybe it's unfortunate. I put a lot, like, it's unfortunate for me because I place a lot of importance on understanding how I'm drawing. So the fact that I downgraded seemingly speaks to like the fact that I just didn't understand how I was drawing. Which actually, like, I do find a benefit in like in that type of like downgrading, like, you know, getting rusty, like I said, because it forces me to like actually figure out a way to draw that doesn't rely on just like feeling. It forces me to figure out like a way to draw that relies more on like foundations and like usually foundations don't just break down randomly. If you take a like a couple hours worth of a break, you don't just like suddenly get worse. At least that's not how it is for me. So I think I'm pretty happy because now I understand a little bit better how to do it, how to, you know, draw better. Okay, goodbye, Lel. You know what's so crazy? I used to not draw male characters, and now that's my favorite thing to draw. It'd be like that. Preferences change, I suppose. I mean, that's basically the same pose, though. It's kind of the same pose. It's not exactly, though, so let me see. I used to only draw dudes. Now I only draw dudettes. I used to only draw women, and now I only draw women. Wait a minute. I have one OC, that's a child. Fair enough. I need to do laundry today. I'm gonna do laundry after the stream. I must do laundry. Hold on. She's the kind of person to ask, if I eat an apple seed, will an apple tree grow in my tummy? I mean, to be honest, I believed that as a child too, so it'd be like that. It makes total sense. Why would a seed not grow if you eat it? Because stomach acid? Yeah, but like, what child is actually thinking about stomach acid? unless you like just got finished like learning about like biology in class or something like that. Okay, I realize I don't able to keep my interest in something like making a book. Yeah, makes sense. Most people aren't able to. Or rather, a lot of people aren't able to. You have a big dream about something. I want to do this. It's going to be a grand project. 2 days into the project. You know, I don't think I really want to do this project anymore. I'm not going to lie. Guys, I've only been drawing people now, so I can't draw anything else. Fair enough. Woman crotch tastier? Hello, Sierra. Welcome back. Welcome back. That face is amazing. Surprised you didn't use the hungry emote. Does she remind me of my manga teacher? Well, that's probably good. Thank you. My projects are projects. Oh, my projects are my projects? I think your projects are your projects. That makes sense. By the way, why is the girl pointing at her kidneys? They're not working. She's gonna die in about, well, some amount of time. By the way, is there a god of planet in your universe, or what is the biggest god in your? The biggest god is the god of everything, I suppose. It'd be the god of the universe is the biggest god. No, there's not a god of the planet. At least I haven't. At least I haven't thought about that. She sold her kidney for what? You know, she didn't sell it. It's just kidney failure. I do have the 3 evil gods. But then I'm gonna make 3 good gods and then a neutral god. Fair enough. What about god of economy? There's probably a god of economy, although still haven't like thought about that. There's a god of value. The god of value is like the god of economy, I suppose. Maybe not really. They're not exactly the same thing, but you know, they're related. She sold it for $2 in a Snickers. Honestly, that's fair. I would do that. The 3 evil gods have to oppose the 3 good gods, but I don't know what opposes the 3 things. I don't know what opposes the 3 things the evil gods are. Well, I guess you'll have to think about it. What does God of Value do? Does she put a card and say $5 and makes it so? No. I mean, yeah, in the gods don't really have a say over reality, not in a true sense. The gods are just a representation of reality. In a like personified. So let me see. Yeah, what would the God of Value do? I thought about the existence, but I didn't think about the application. God of Value would probably maybe turn things that are that it'd probably be like something where things that people value more, or yeah, that maybe like sacrificing something, like gaining power for like using things of value, or maybe imbuing things with value, imbuing things with power that like have value or something like that. That's kind of basic though. Usually usually that type of god I would like them to have usually for those types of god I'd like them to have like a more interesting application. So is she priceless? Maybe maybe she's priceless beyond value itself. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it would be like the ability so like the ability to validify things of, so like things of low value would be like invalid and therefore unable to like interact with the world. Things of low value simply disappear or has no effect. Or maybe the god would gain maybe the god would gain control over all things of value. So the higher value an object or a thing is, or a person is, the more control the god has over. One moment. All right, I have returned. Ouch. Alrighty. I'm an independent thinker. Thinks hard again. Like the face of my drawing, but the hands are trouble. Hands are very much troubling. It's also in one part when you really like one part of your drawing, but like the other part is like, well, this is kind of bad. What? Where was that? I just had a reference. Where did the reference go? My bad for not downloading the reference. It should be up here though, right? Right? Seriously. What? Oh, there it is. Thank you. I already drew a high angle shot for the challenge because I thought it was this week's challenge. Well, yeah. Right, yes. They didn't actually announce the challenge until today. Yeah, which one is winning right now? Yeah, high angle is probably gonna win anyways. It's probably way easier to do it's probably way easier to do a high angle than a low angle. Or so I say, but I struggle with a high angle rather than a low angle. I'd rather do a low angle, to be honest. So, you know, doing a high angle might be an actual challenge for me, to be honest. Matt, you're drawing over my shading examples? Well, it'd be like that. You can draw a low angle from imagination. I can, vaguely. I should be able to, actually, yeah. I mean, it probably won't be, like, the best, but it'll be, yeah. It'll be definitely something. Daz loves his low angles. They're just easier. I mean, as you can see. To me, they're just easier. I really struggle with drawing it's mainly the chest. I really struggle with drawing the chest from above. It may be easy if I, like, if I just, like, you know... Wait, if I just draw a character with clothes, I might just, like, yeah. Wait, actually, that would be... Wait, hold on. Are clothes gonna save me this time? I can use it to make a fake poster for my Popstar OC Halo. He's a pastel hyper Popstar, guys. A pastel hyper Popstar is a interesting combination of words. A subgenre of pop. I didn't know that. I've never heard of that. Hyperpop. What's hyperpop? Is that pop on caffeine? What's that? How do I draw? Okay, so, like, because skirt. Because oh crap! Wait, that's not. Fast-paced pop. Ah, I see. It is pop on caffeine. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that there, and then like that. But I have to imagine pleats, because this is a pleated skirt. So... Good. Finally, she ain't naked. Oh, who? The person I'm drawing? True. This drawing is more of a focus on, I guess, the clothes, I suppose? I don't really know. I wasn't really paying attention. Clothes rather than anatomy. So her spine is there, the butt would be coming around here, the thigh would be here. So, yeah. What should I draw, Dennis? A motorcycle. Motorcycles are cool. I want to draw a train, to be honest. No? Fair enough. Honestly, that's a fair reaction. Why are you thinking hard on how to draw a high-angle perspective? Look at a reference. Look at a reference of a high-angle perspective. Do not use your brain to think of a reference. Do not be a silly sausage. Do not be a silly goober. A bullet train in perspective would be so cool to draw. It actually would also be pretty easy. I mean, it's just a rectangle. I would actually like to do that. Although I was more thinking of like a steam train, to be honest. Just because I like the intricacy of it. I like the intricacy of it. You said sausage? I did indeed. Okay. My music is having a heart attack. That's weird. So when it comes to leggings have like this weird band. What is the band that goes around the thighs for like leggings? What is that? It's not like it's not like a true band, but it's some amount of, is it just like a seam that has to be there for like stability or like structural purposes? I wonder. I mean, I'd guess that's what I'd guess. Then under here would just be dark, because shading here. By the way, how does that shading work? That shading would work like that, and then wrap around like that, and then I guess it just become darker. Sent the beat drawing I have made that is not a human. What? Where's Cretus? Cretus is here. I haven't seen Cretus. What? Am I missing something? Guys, am I cooked? Oh, you're talking about yeah, hobby. Guys, am I cooked, or is it gonna be easy? My fingers are literal rectangles, but I don't understand how to connect the hand to the arm. You know, look at a reference. That's best I can give. Look at a reference and try and see how they do it, and then you try and do it yourself. The rectangles? Well, you can either bend the rectangles or make a joint between the rectangles. I sent the best drawing I've made that is not a human. Oh, I see. Wait, what was I doing? Ouch. Oh, nice. That is it. That is a really nice teddy bear. Nice work, hobby. Let me pick a random reference. That is a terrible reference to pick. Okay, let me pick another random reference. That is basically the same pose I've just done here. Okay, let me pick another reference. Okay, that's another low angle. How about I just do this reference? That's basically nothing. Huh. Okay. This one, I've done this reference before, but I'll do it again. Okay, goodbye, hobby. You forgot to bring your art tools on vacation? Right? Okay, it's been 3 hours. All right, I guess that drawing will be the last drawing. Not this drawing. The next drawing I do will be the last drawing of today. Still haven't done a train. I'll do a train later. I drew or some sort of vehicle. I don't know. Yes, it has been 3 hours. So I will call it quits now. And I'm still unable to draw. Rip. Indeed. I don't know why she's so worried. I'll give her a word expression. I must use digital art. Well, good luck with that. She's supposed to have some flat hair, though. But I suck at it. Well, you know, there's always a chance to get better. Oh, whoops, wrong character. She's not supposed to have that. She's not supposed to have that hair. Okay, whatever. I forgot even how to draw her hair. I guess I'll just do it like that. Which kind of looks like her hair, but it's not supposed to be like her hair. Ugh. Wait, the sketchbook on the right? Yep, there is a sketchbook on the right. Wait, what? Let me see the cover. I think I have that one. But I don't really want to lift it up. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's the sketchbook. Oh. Okay. There you go. I have that one. Noise. Yeah, I have the sketchbook. I don't really like this sketchbook, to be honest. I don't like the paper quality. I like the smoothness of this paper more. I would love to do digital. I have a pen, but it's broken. The connection to the charger is too deep inside, so it doesn't charge properly. Ooh. Yeah, you did say that. I remember that. Yes, that is unfortunate. And you couldn't find a replacement, I remember. You know, actually, I like how this bike turned out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I'm quite happy with it. Which is interesting, because I didn't think I was gonna like it. Okay, yeah. Let me get my thoughts in order before I finish stream. I need to do laundry, finish the video, do laundry. Okay, actually, I'll just do that art style instead. Or, yeah. Do laundry, finish the video, and then I must do laundry, finish video, and then what? Nope, don't leave. I need you. Pencil. Do I need to eat? No. Lunch? Exercise? Well, I'll figure that all out. I'll figure that all out later. Let me see what I can do with this drawing. Let me do an even more extreme perspective. See if I can figure it out. Dennis, sorry, is there any sketch style specifically that helped you the most? Not necessarily, no. Just looking at artist sketches in general helped a lot. Yeah. I mean, I showed like that thing on Pinterest where like, hold on, give me 1 second. I like that pose. This pose is pretty cool. Hello, Broken Skull. Welcome to the stream. I'll just put you in that thing. Okay, cool. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it depends like what I'm studying. But in general, it's not like one art style or another that like of sketching. Like sometimes I look at like this type of like sketching style. Sometimes, you know, it's like, yeah, it really just depends. Like if it's like a focus on perspective or a focus on anything else. Like I like these too. I like these. These are better for like perspective, like learning to sketch in perspective. But yeah. It's not like one specific art style. You got a 45% on a test. That's definitely a fail, I think. I'm quite sure. Am I the most talkative person here, or am I just spreading out my messages too much, or both? You're pretty talkative. I don't know. And you are spreading out your messages rather than condensing them into one message. But in general, yeah, you're just the most talkative person here. Although the stream always has like one talkative person. That's just how it works. If you weren't the most talkative person here, then someone else would have been. So. Thank you, Des. The 55 pages thingy. Is that what it's called? 55 pages. $55 pages? 55 pages? Huh? Who? Oh, you're talking oh, you're talking to Broken Skull. Okay. It's like, wait, huh? Okay, cool. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the stream. I'm the ultimate yapper in my friend group too. I see. Maybe a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, my friend. Oh. I've been locking in with my DuckTales OC on my tablet. Noise. I realized I like making OC designs instead of fleshing out their backstory, writing full stories. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, a lot of people do. I want to dedicate one book entirely to my universe. That's impossible for whatever reason. Is it? I don't know. Oh, unfortunate. What are we drawing? Woman. I used to yap a lot, but got out of questions. I used to yap a lot, but got out of questions. Oh, you ran out of questions. Fair enough. So technically the center line would follow that instead, and then that becoming around there. Okay, that's quite the perspective. I think I've done pretty good with it. Never run out of things to say. That's probably true. You know, sometimes I can speak a lot and sometimes I don't. It really just depends on like how much it depends on how much I think I could speak on something that's like of quality. If I can't speak on anything that I think is like of quality or like is up to my standard, I guess, or like that I know enough about, or just that I just find interesting to talk about, I just don't talk. Which is probably like a lot of people. So some people have like a lesser tolerance to like what they find interesting, I suppose. Which is like probably good. I think that's probably good. I think that type of person is probably happier. Is that true? I don't know. I need help writing a character's backstory, so can someone help? Here. Well, not me. This pose is actually interesting. I'm actually quite pleased with how this is turning out. I just need to do the face. Let me see if I can nail it. I think the face is like the true test on how well I will actually consider a drawing. Okay, just need ideas on the screen. Yeah, it looks amazing. Dennis, thank you. Let me see. Well, yeah, but that just depends on if I want to detail, which I like obviously won't. So that detail won't come out. Maybe that. Basically, the idea is Clover, the character, is just chilling, and Luna does some sort of thing to make him lucky enough to be numb to negative emotions and empathy. I see. Phrasing that as lucky is interesting. Reroll your thoughts until you only have happy ones. Poor Clover can't build connections, but he doesn't have the feelings to care, so. Oh, fair enough. I can see Clover chilling on vacation while everyone else is absolutely traumatized. Fair enough. Because something happened. I don't know that meme, no. But sounds interesting. Man, so why are you drawing ellipses? I'm trying to. Well, I'm just remembering. Sometimes I come across a method that I find useful to draw bodies, and so sometimes I mark it down. Like, yeah, sometimes if I really want to remember something, I'll like mark it down at the top of the page and give an example of what I'm doing for myself in the future, just in case I forget. So I guess what I'm trying to illustrate is to illustrate the body more 3D like. That's been helping me. It's funny in my opinion. It probably would be funny. I just don't know the memes, so. It's on YouTube and stuff? Probably. Yeah, usually jotting down like the methods that I use to do something properly helps me in the future for when it helps me get a better foundation. Like basically to avoid, yeah, like a lot of the reasons why I downgrade is like in my art quality, I feel, is because I forget, like I don't have a proper foundation for what I'm doing. So by actually making a true note of like what I really am doing, I gain a better understanding of what I'm doing and I can replicate it. Meaning I'm like, it's easier for me to continue, like it's easier for me to keep my skill level and improve it rather than like going back and forth like up and down in my skill level, is how I feel. So if something is like immensely useful to me, I'll make sure to jot it down. That way I won't forget it. Understand? I thought you had a solid markdown, but I understand. Forgetting things, it happens to me a lot. Yeah, I didn't have a solid. I don't for. Yeah. No, I do forget things. Yeah, I don't have a solid. I didn't, because how I was drawing bodies before, I was relying purely based off of like vibes and like how my memory works. So I was relying purely on my visual library, which is fine, but I didn't have an actual foundation. And I think the understanding of like the 3D aspect of the ellipses give a really good idea of like how like like if you look at these like ellipses, you can now understand pretty well like how this is in 3D space. But how I was drawing bodies before was more like this, which like kind of works, but I feel like one of them allows me to like do it a lot better. So yeah. Help, it got me? What? Or actually, this is probably a bad example. It'd just be more like just the center line. So like this example right here is basically it. All the chocolate chips. What do I do? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna bring this in. Where's the condensed milk? Actually, this right here would be some amount of knot. I forgot to buy the fridge. Oh. I'm so lost right now. Run, the butter is fighting back? What? I'm even more lost now. Lost and confused. It's so easy. I wonder why everyone is in a rush. Huh. In any case. Actually, I think that would just carry on. Actually, it probably wouldn't carry on. It'd probably go right. Well, it depends on the. It doesn't really matter. That's the meme? Oh, I see. You know, without visuals to go along, it's very confusing. Without visuals to go along, it just seems like a bunch of scatterbrained thoughts. Scatterbrained thoughts that I can't piece together. Seriously, why are we doing this? Why is my music doing that? I should draw this with my characters. Sounds like a fun idea. Clover's the one that says this is so easy. I wonder why everyone's in a rush, no doubt. Probably. This, have you seen a tutorial like just peeking at it, but not really looking deep into it, and then you remember that you needed it since the beginning? Yeah, there's a lot of things that I like. There's a lot of information that I came upon, especially like from tutorials and stuff, that yeah, I just didn't look deep into. And I was like, yeah, I probably don't need that. Like why would I need that? That like seems so like that seems like such a lot of like so much work. Such a lot of work is not a grammatically. Yeah, I was like, it seems like so much work to do that. I would never need that. And it turns out I actually did need it later on. Like the fundamentals in general. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that where like I discarded them early on, but like ended up needing them later. Okay, I am practically done with this. And the fact that I'm done with this means that I'm done with the stream, basically. So, yeah. I guess that's about it. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. And going home soon too? Nice. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. I'm going to be your new sub. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I found a guy, his name is Broken Draw, and he uploaded a video about fundamental things before drawing boxes and observation and line control. I'm trying to do that. Is it working for you? Well, hopefully it's working for you. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Alrighty. Good job, nephew. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the stream. Oof, my back hurts. To be fair, I've been sitting here. Okay. Good drawings today? Thank you, thank you. All right. Up we go.